I'm still alive, and I'm here in this echoey hotel room in Orlando, Florida on January 11th, 2026. And this feels sort of crazy to say, but tomorrow I move into the Disney College program. And I am scheduling this video to be uploaded at the same time that I arrive at the Disney College program, which also happens to be 9 a.m., my typical upload time. And today I just wanted to go over my final thoughts, as well as share some things about my first visit to Disney World yesterday. I'm just looking at myself on the camera right here, and I can see that this stress pimple is so noticeable, and I really hope it's gone by the time I take my Disney ID photo tomorrow. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, yesterday was my first time ever going to Walt Disney World. And even though it was kind of a lot, we did in fact go to all 4 parks. And I have more things to do today. I don't have that much time to edit, so I'm gonna try to tell this story with as few cuts as possible. So on the first night we arrived, we went to Disney Springs, which is the equivalent of downtown Disney, if you've just been to the California one, and it was really cool. I was not aware that Disney Springs was just so expansive. To call it a mall would feel like unfair to it, because it's like the super mall. It's incredible. There's so many different themed things. And it was kind of crazy to me that you can go to Disney Springs for free. It felt like we should be paying money to go to this. It felt like one of the parks almost. I think there was even a couple of rides, fairly smaller rides, mostly for little kids, but they were still really cool. I found it very interesting, all the different theming. We ate at a place called Frontera Cocina, which my pronunciation was probably really bad on. But it had gluten-free options, which was great because I have celiac disease, and all the employees were extremely nice, which, that Disney customer service that I also am hoping to provide, and it was really incredible. And when we bought our tickets to go to the parks the next day, we ended up speaking to this one employee for quite a bit as we were kind of figuring out the stuff with our tickets, and we did end up telling her that I would be starting the Disney College program in a few days, and she asked what my role was, and I said character attendant, and she was really excited. She was like, oh my gosh, that's super rare. She said that she did the Disney College program, and she was then offered a job out of it as a full-time cast member, which I'm not quite hoping to do. I'm hoping to go back to college, finish up my bachelor's, and then start working for Disney in a more professional role, like almost on the corporate side, like park management, etc. That's where I'm hoping to do. I'm explaining this badly, but yeah, she was excited, and it was cool to know how rare being a character attendant is. I think I saw that only about a dozen people on this round of the Disney College program are character attendants for Hollywood Studios, like I am. And I imagine that holds true for roughly the rest of the parks. So that's what, like 50 people or so on this round of the Disney College program. So it definitely is rather rare, which did feel cool to know about. I was not really aware of that. And she did also say that entertainment was good for making connections, which I was also very happy about. But then we got up bright and early to go to the parks the next day. And I said bright and early, but we did not have to get up as early as we typically do, because the park that we were going to first, Hollywood Studios, opens at 9 as opposed to 8 like we're typically used to for Disneyland and California Adventure. So yes, as I mentioned, we started with Hollywood Studios, which is, again, the park I will be working at. We entered at 8:40. I've got the list. I always take notes of what we do whenever we're at Disney, and I've got the notes right here. We entered Hollywood Studios at 8:40, and then we pretty much immediately, we were like looking around sort of Main Street area, and then we went down Sunset Boulevard. This won't make much sense if you're not that familiar with how this is structured, but we went down basically another place, and then to the Tower of Terror. Now, a Tower of Terror is a ride that I refuse blanket to go on. I'm not going to go on it, and I did not this time, but I thought it would be good because my parents were there and they would go on it. And I thought it'd be good to kind of kick it off. So we got in line like 8:50, somewhere around there. And then my parents, we waited for a little bit, and then they ended up going on the ride. They had fun, although my mom's not the biggest fan of drops, but she'll actually go on it, and they like the theming aspect, but that is a ride that I will never set foot on. I really hate drops. After that, we went to the Rockin' Roller Coaster, which is a ride that my mom really enjoyed when my parents went to Disney World last in like 2000. And it's a Aerosmith-themed roller coaster where it's sort of synced to their music, but it's actually being changed this March. It's going to be re-updated to the Muppets, and we wanted to ride on it because this is going to be my mom's last opportunity to do this ride that she really enjoyed, and we did. And the anticipation, again, I'm not the biggest fan of roller coasters, was a lot right as we were about to get like launched into it, but when we actually went on it, it was pretty fun, although it did hurt my neck just a little bit on one of the inversions, I think, but it was largely completely fine. It was very fun, and I have had Aerosmith songs going through my head for like the past day. Then we went over to Star Tours, which is like the first familiar ride that we've done, the one that's also in Disneyland. And it was like a whole structure for Star Tours, which we're not really used to. It's just typically a part of Tomorrowland. And Star Tours, it was cool, but it was really weird because it twisted a different direction, which was very strange for us. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, I think it typically goes right, just like in the line waiting area at Disneyland. It did not, it went way to the left, and that was extremely confusing that it was inverted. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is feels so similar. It almost felt like we had stepped into the Disneyland version, except the line twisted a different way, and we were like, this is a little bit strange. And then we went up to Toy Story Land, which is a place, again, that is not in Disneyland or California Adventure. And we went on the Alien Swirling Saucers, Midway Mania, and Slinky Dog Dash, I think, or Slinky Dash Race, something like that. They are the kind of the two bigger attractions, but they had super long waits, and we had some lightning lanes we wanted to get to. So we just went on the Alien Swirling Saucers. It feels like there's a ride in California Adventure, it's like a Mater ride with tractors. It felt like that, and it was cool. And then we went back on the Rock and Roller Coaster again. And then we exited Hollywood Studios. So we did see every area of Hollywood Studios. We were able to walk through all the areas, but we did not want to spend a ton of time on each park because, again, we have 4 to get to, and that is quite a bit. We exited Hollywood Studios at 11:30, and then we boarded a shuttle over to Animal Kingdom, which is the only way to go to Animal Kingdom unless you drive, but we wanted to keep our car at the same spot, which we did end up doing. And that was the Hollywood Studios lot, and we ended up entering Animal Kingdom at 11:55, which is not bad at all. Also, throughout the entire day, my dad was wearing a shirt I got him that says, "A platypus? Perry the platypus," like from Phineas and Ferb, and pretty much the entire day people were complimenting him on it and being like, "Oh my gosh, I read that in his voice," which was also pretty fun, got him a good gift, I think, at least. So yeah, we entered Animal Kingdom at 11:55, and they were conspicuously playing Christmas music. There were Christmas decorations up in Hollywood Studios and also Animal Kingdom, which was really cool to see, and this is honestly the one time I did not mind Christmas music that much because I've never seen Disney at Christmas, and I got to experience it a little bit, which I was not expecting, which was kind of cool. We went, since it was like almost lunchtime, we went to lunch at a place called Restaurantosaurus, which is in Dinoland, USA. And I had a reason for wanting to go there, because Dinoland, USA is closing pretty much early February, so I'll still be able to see it a little bit. And again, I don't have like nostalgia for Dinoland. I basically did not know anything about it except that it was there. And it's going to be replaced by an Indiana Jones thing, which I am excited for. I love the Indiana Jones ride. But I was like, you know what, might as well eat lunch there too, because that's also closing. We ate lunch there at about 12:15, and then we went on the marquee attraction of the Dinoland USA area, Dinosaur, which felt similar to the Indiana Jones ride, and I can definitely understand why they wanted to update it, because they're already pretty similar, but I did find it cool, right? It was a brand new ride, and it was a cool experience, although the entire time was scared that a dinosaur was going to pop out and make a super loud noise, because it was like dark and kind of quiet for portions of it. Fortunately, I was able to prepare myself for any of those, which was pretty nice. Then we went over to Kilimanjaro Safaris, which was kind of in the northern area of the park, the northwest area of the park. I'm going based off the map. I don't know if it was actually northwest. And that was very interesting, getting to see all the different animals. It was like the ultimate zoo, even though it's not a zoo, but it was like very, very cool to go through and see so many different animals. There were some lions that were actually awake, which I've heard is pretty rare. Got to see some flamingos, a hippo, elephants, all manner of creatures, and even this thing that I cannot remember what it was called, but it had massive horns, and it was very cool. Then we went to Na'vi River Journey, and that is one of 2 rides in the Pandora area. The other one is Flight of Passage, which is a ride that's one of the most popular, and we were not going to be able to ride because it was going to have a super long wait, or we would have had to like pay to do the lightning lane for that, because you can only do lightning lanes for certain rides. Well, there's a few rides that you have to pay to do lightning lane for, just because of how popular they are. But the Na'vi River Journey was cool, and the thing I was really excited for was the Na'vi Shaman, which is like one of the most advanced animatronics Disney has ever made, and it was really cool to see it. It felt so fluid, and it felt extremely real. Then we went over to Expedition Everest, which is one of the biggest rides in Animal Kingdom, but just my mom and my dad did that. I looked it up beforehand, and it has an 80-foot drop on the roller coaster, and I love Disney. I love Disney rides. I love theming. I do not like roller coasters or drops. That feels like something I'm going to need to work my way up to. But my parents both loved it, and my dad said it might be his new favorite Disney ride, which was very cool. We then exited Animal Kingdom at 3:35. We took the shuttle back to Hollywood Studios actually at 3:55, and then we took the Disney Skyliner, which is something that's transportation between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, although it stops at a couple resorts. And we took that, which was cool. We entered that at 4:20, and we eventually ended up entering Epcot at 4:45. So Epcot and Magic Kingdom, I'll be honest, were the two parks that I was most excited for. So I was really excited when we entered into Epcot. We didn't enter Epcot from the main entrance. We entered through the International Gateway, which put us right kind of in the middle of the World Showcase, in between, I think we were between France and the UK. And we walked through the UK and Canada portion, and they were pretty cool to see the part of the World Showcase. We headed first to Spaceship Earth, which is the main... I keep forgetting what it's called. There's a type of, the big sphere that's in the center of Epcot, it has a kind of name. And we entered it, and Spaceship Earth, it had a super short wait, but it was so cool. It was going through like the history of how humankind saw the future and like all the different advancements. And it was honestly awesome. It was so cool. It was everything I expected Epcot to be. We watched Tomorrowland a few nights ago, and this whole thing felt like that, even though it technically wasn't Tomorrowland. Then we went over to Mission Space, which was another Epcot attraction, and this whole thing felt very much like the future almost. And Mission Space was pretty cool. Then we went back over and did Soarin', which is a ride that we are familiar with. It was Soarin' around the world. It was great to have a kind of familiar face, almost a familiar ride. I guess the familiar face would be Patrick Warburton, who reads the pre-flight things. Then we went, we were gonna have dinner at Epcot, but it ended up being really crowded, which, you know, you can expect. I'm sure a lot of people plan to have dinner at Epcot. We walked around the World Showcase a little bit though, and it was really cool seeing the World Showcase. It was so just awesome to see how much theming was into this and how much work had been done, and it was so just beautiful, and it's definitely a place I can see myself spending quite a bit of time. But we did end up exiting Epcot at 7:30 because we needed to go to Magic Kingdom still, and that closes at 10, and we also still need to eat. We got on the monorail at 7:35, and we ended up entering Magic Kingdom after one quick monorail transfer at 8. And we had dinner at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, which was a place that had gluten-free options, and it felt like almost like campy 1960s version of the future, a diner. It was cool. They had like an animatronic figure who was called Sunny Eclipse, if I'm remembering correctly. We had that at 8:20, and then we still had a few more rides to hit that we had lightning lanes for. So we went over to Space Mountain next, and something I did not realize is that Space Mountain at Disney World does not have, or rather at Magic Kingdom, does not have the iconic ride music that's just at California, which was a bit of a disappointment, but the ride itself was still very cool going around. It's Space Mountain, it's always going to be cool. Then we went to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is not a ride we're super familiar with. It was a roller coaster, but it's more of a family-friendly roller coaster, and it was so smooth. It was like really incredible. I don't know how they got a roller coaster to be that smooth. It was cool. And then we went over to the Haunted Mansion, which I think might have been cooler than in California, because it was longer, quite frankly. And at this point, we couldn't see all the stuff outside because it was getting pretty dark. It was like almost 9 at this point. But the Haunted Mansion, there was more to it. There was a more to the beginning portion, at the very least. It was getting pretty late, but then we figured we could just take the bus back to Hollywood Studios to get to our car. So we decided to go on Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates, it was cool. It was, Pirates is always going to be cool, right? Although the drop was at a different point. There's like a flight portion where you go down, because I don't think they had to get past, there's something in Disney called the berm, which was like a area that was the initial border, and it's something you have to go underneath to get to showrooms for a lot of different rides. And they didn't have to do that because this park was built with the knowledge of the rides that was going to be in it. So it was interesting that it was at a different spot, and knowing kind of the reason for that. Then we ended up exiting Magic Kingdom at 10:15, and then we exited the entirety of Walt Disney World. We had to wait a little bit for a shuttle because, it was late at about 11:15. So we went on a decent number of rides. We were able to see all 4 parks, I think, get a pretty good sense of them, and I am looking and seeing that I've been recording for 21 minutes. I definitely rambled a little bit too long about this, but it was cool. It was cool to get a cool first experience at the parks, and again, I can go back for 3 full days in 2 days, the day after tomorrow, because then I get 3 free tickets. So I'll definitely be spending more time here and seeing just more of this and getting to experience anything we did not get to. So that was my first experience at Walt Disney World, and now transitioning into the hopefully shorter and much less rambly second part of this video, my final thoughts before starting the Disney College program tomorrow. Now that I'm here in Florida, I'm still not stressed. I'm not like crazy panicking or anything, although I am just a little bit worried, although I think everyone is. However, the thing I am struggling with is the feeling that it's still not really sinking in, which I was not really expecting once I'm here. This whole thing just kind of feels like a vacation to Walt Disney World, but it has not really sunk in yet that I will be staying in Florida for the next 4 to 6 months. I think part of that is the fact that I've never been to Flamingo Crossing Village, so I don't know what it looks like, so therefore it's a lot harder for me to picture myself living there. However, the side of actually working at the parks does feel more real, because I was able to see quite a few character attendants out and about in the park with the characters, and I was also just able to go to the park so I can understand the place that I'm going to work. Also, yesterday I received my training schedule, and I'm actually really excited to start working. I'll probably have a lot more thoughts when I'm actually moved in tomorrow, or for all of you later today, but my next video won't be tomorrow, it will be on Thursday like my normal upload time. Daily uploading over winter break is now completed, and as soon as I edit and then upload this video, it will be completely done. I'm not gonna end this video with a big sentimental montage like I did over the summer or anything, because you're gonna get a lot of sentimentality out of me very soon. And one more thing I'm really excited for about the Disney College program is the fun videos I'll get to make. I saw quite a few people filming in the parks, and while I do not want to be a vlogger or anything, I do still want to take advantage of the opportunity to make videos at one of the most magical places in the world. Or I actually think it's technically the most magical place on Earth. Alright, well that is going to be it for today. This video technically will be posted 2 hours earlier because I'm now in Eastern Standard Time, although it's still posted at 9 AM for me, so it's still the same. But thank you for watching, and Nate, I'll see you later today.